Okay, good morning. Check my mic is working. Yeah, just woke up. Having my coffee. A bit of a slow start today, but yeah, basically we have this list of things that we came up with yesterday to get the factions working. The first thing I want to do is figure out this whirlwind blade problem. So what was happening is when I did whirlwind blade, if I had any character with this move called whirlwind blade, it would cause the targeting to screw up. So yeah, let's have a look at that. Yeah, we should have an exception. So if I think that's going to be simple. Now, where do we put it? And does it even throw up an error? I don't think it does. So do we have the old... Okay, what I might do is if I could find an old script like before I made this change. Oh. Because it's quite simple. It's like if... So for each weapon... Okay. If weapon self-target, and that would be our... That would be our... whirlwind blade. And that's the only weapon that's a self-target. So there it is. And we're breaking. So yeah, we're just like ending the routine. So instead of that, it would be that. We don't break, we do the else thing. That should work. And I would be quite tempted just to upload that as a build, because everyone's going to be playing the old build now, which is going to break the game. So I was worried that this was some kind of performance issue under the hood or stuff like that, but actually, if this works, then the game should run very smoothly now, so that's good. I don't know of any other problems that were occurring. Whirlwind blade, okay. Let's give that a try then. Let's give that a whirl, as they say. Lovely. Okay, good. That's going to work then. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. It's the kind of bug fix that puts me in a good mood, because when I play the game and suddenly everyone stops targeting each other properly, that makes me upset, because I don't know what's causing it. Okay. Packs not spawning properly. So the other big one, the other sort of big bug that has started happening is packs aren't really spawning. Ah, that's going to be something. Find game objects with tag. Enemy. And that's what's going to cause the game to slow down. Because finding game objects with tag is a very, very expensive thing to do. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. That's a start. So we don't want find game objects with tag. We want that. Excuse me. Okay. Started playing Ninja Gaiden last night. Ninja Gaiden 4. Having a good time with it. It's not as good as Metal Gear Rising though. I knew Metal Gear Rising was an amazing game way before the internet found it in the last few years. Way before. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure what the problem is here. So let me just try and process this code in my head. So, count existing enemies. Okay, we don't need to store that. We can just go straight to this. So we are saying available slots is, what is the max units minus how many do we have? And then we say if we have some available slots, then vary the pack size. So we vary the pack size. Should we be like using only floats here, I guess? Get this number enemies to spawn. Choose where the pack will spawn. Spawn pack. Leader, there is one. And then we've got our enemies to spawn. Oh, I don't think they're being spawned at all. So spawn pack, spawn pack. I don't think I... Yeah, I'm a moron. I'm a total and utter moron. Complete and utter moron I am. Start coroutine spawn pack. I find it really annoying that it doesn't throw up an error. Because I can't think of a context where you would want to just say, here's this coroutine. So you know that's obviously not going to do anything, and it finds neither an error or a warning. Do you mean the following regular expression is malformed? What do you want about? I'm just trying to do find in files. Look in entire yeah, find. Malformed? What do you mean? I think I'm trying to do some like weird funk. Okay, so that was an extremely rookie mistake. Very, very rookie mistake. Like, unforgivable. But it should work now. I mean, finding a stupid mistake is better than not finding a stupid mistake. Obviously, the goal is to not make a stupid mistake. Okay, right, I expect this to work now. Pack not spawning properly. I'm going to call that fixed until further notice. And if I'm going to try and fix that by the end of the day. Okay, so I'm just going through. I've got this list of things that came up. We've started on next faction, so I can delete that off the list. The next one is Orc Weapon Slot UI. Okay, so the Orcs are gonna have the Orcs are gonna have 5 weapons and 3 allies rather than 4 weapons and 4 allies. Transform, and I need to find, so that I haven't looked at this for a while. I'll be right back. So I'm wondering where. I thought that would be the HUD, but where do I? So when we do an upgrade, what do I call that? I have to go into the scene and grab it. What's going on? Why is it spawning a pack? There shouldn't be any packs to spawn. Okay, so spawn pack. So we just say if that's rather odd. I think I must have gotten rid of that check at some point. That's silly of me. Kind of vaguely remember doing that actually. Talent icons transform. Okay, they're all just called talent icons. Okay. That's what got me confused. I should go ahead and call that upgrade icons transform. And that will also help me find, it's just, so that should have broken something, yeah. Okay, 4, that's the one. Display 4 ally slots, display 4 talent slots. Okay, so we could say, we could like reference the faction and put this information in the faction, but instead, I think I'll just write like a hard exception. So if faction 0 names is equal to we're just saying if you're a green bean, the weapon limit is 5. If you're an ally limit equals 3. And then so in each case, so this can go above all of those. Just limits faction. Okay, that should work. And then I also need to do this for so that's probably in GM. So when we add a talent, so let's look at this was sort of black magic to me. I did get some help from an LLM to code some of these. Just because it's like quicker. Okay, weapon count, max weapons. Okay, so let's store that, and let's have those here. So we'll have max weapons, max allies, max talents. Okay, so we have max weapons. Okay. Is ally excluded? And in this case, 4. So this again will be max allies. And then is talent excluded? Not 4. Max talents. I mean, this is just comments. I don't need to worry about this too much. But okay, so max weapons applies here, and I think that's the choke point. That's the number. And then I just need to make sure that at some point, and then what we can do is we can use this number here as well. Weapon limit, max weapons. Max allies. Max talents. And then somewhere, not every, I mean, it wouldn't be a big deal if we did it every time we leveled up, but let's just make sure we're doing it at the start. But like after we've set up the heroes faction. Loading screen, this is where this happens. So set up player. This would be a good place for it. So if and sometimes I just put some like gibberish so that it's easy to find the red line. Okay, so it's going to be here. We say adjust max upgrades based on faction. And they'll, by default, they'll be 4. Yeah. And then so if the name is green beans, then max weapons is 5. And max allies is 3. Okay, that's good. That works. Yeah, I think that works pretty well. Let's give that a try. So now what we should see is and do we have leveling up? Do I have my level up cheat on? I do. Oh. Ha. Forgot to set that up in the HUD. Upgrade icons transform. There we go. Yeah, so what we should see is 3 little red blocks. No, 5 little red blocks. And 3 little blue blocks and 4 little green ones. That's correct. And then we should be able to like level up. Yeah, we can't. It seems that we can't get more than. Yeah, working as intended. Nice. So the loot goblin. I don't think the loot goblin is collecting loot for me. Well, still a trip playing as the orcs. Still absolutely blows my mind. Okay, right. Off to a good start. We are clearing these things off the list. So, fixed some major bugs. Thanks for your patience. Just adding to the log. Because currently, if you're playing the demo, you will run into that bug. So spawning packs simply wasn't working because of the changes that I made. So I really ought to, I mean, the demo is fine, but I really ought to update the demo as soon as possible. I mean, we're talking single digits of people who will be affected, but still, they won't have had the proper gameplay experience, which is a shame. Okay, still unpausing on chests sometimes. And I feel like that's the kind of bug that would be like, if you're not having a good time with the game, you will quit because the game didn't pause properly while you were opening the chest. Yeah, I mean, should we just... I think the problem with this one is it meant that there was like a little bit of a pause. But let's try it like that for a while. I'm going to try a bunch of different things, and I'm going to shuffle this to the end of the list. Because it's just ridiculous to me. Like, how is the game not pausing all the time when we're opening a chest? Baffles the mind. Really does baffle the mind. I think I'm going to have to like come up with a whole new way of setting that up. Okay. So yeah, still pausing on chests sometimes. It's a rare bug, but it does happen. And it's not really going to ruin everything, but you know. Okay, sort the colors on the faction screen. So this is an easy one. So on when we... faction button. And we need to say, get me the... new faction button dot button image dot color equals faction dot color. Good. With the correct spelling of color. That's going to work. Let's quickly test it. Just in case it doesn't work. Yeah, it works. Okay, while we're here, let's say okay, so if faction dot name is equal to selected hero dot faction. Selected hero is a string, so heroes. Do I not have a way of No, we did it like that. It's probably an easier way to do it, but I mean, like a cheaper way to do it, but it really doesn't matter. So if faction.names is equal to using. So what I should have is a getter that will get. So if faction.names is equal to that would say that would get a hero that would get the hero that by the name, right? So this is very, very messy. If the name is, so here's our selected hero, then, and this is at start. So here's an issue. No. Here's because this is at the start menu, so we're generating all of our heroes factions because it's so far it's only been based on what you've unlocked. But since it's now going to be contextual to which hero you've chosen, I need to like disable it like that. I mean, there's no reason. Does it make sense that you might want to play as the humans fighting against other humans, right? But then they would all just have, they would have to be a reskinned version so that they look significantly different. Or you could play as orcs versus orcs. So it's not that I want to disable that, it's just that I would like discourage it. Because, yeah, I ultimately I want the player to be able to have full freedom over which faction they're playing as and which faction they're playing against. And I would like to have like multi-battles, so you could choose all of the factions, or 2 of them, or 3 of them. You could do a 3v1 or a 1v3. So this whole interface would need to change. But just thinking purely in terms of the demo, for the demo, because I just don't want to confuse players. For the demo, it should just be like, oh, you're playing as the orcs, you're going to be fighting against the humans. You've picked it, because you in fact, in the demo, you're not even going to be able to choose your enemy faction. So, like, I would put an exception. I would put an exception that, like, if you, until you've unlocked more than 2 factions, you're just going to be playing against the opposing faction, right? So until you've unlocked Black Beans, you're just going to be playing against either the orcs or the humans, depending on which one you've chosen. And it would only be after unlocking Black Beans that you. So that the whole interface needs to change. It needs to be a nicer interface where you've got like one unified screen to. So that's a big one. So let's put that on the list of like the next, because I think it's worth doing this sooner rather than later. So I need to design, and so UI design, lots of fun. Design proper character and stage and faction select. And yeah, so it's time that section had an update. I like the simplicity of just picking a hero and jumping right in. But actually, and that works in the context of the genre that I'm in. But actually, it makes sense to have it, to really show. And I think even for the demo as well, it would be nice to really show the intent. The intent being that we want to have a lot of freedom in terms of which faction you're playing as and which faction you're playing against. So I'm going to put a pin in that and just ignore this for now. So, design proper character stage and faction select. So that is a bit of design. And the chances of me doing that today are incredibly slim. Because that is a proper job that I need to design some nice UI and implement it. And then we'll have like a nice view of like the stage, the characters that we're playing as. So like putting factions on the left side and the right side and picking, I mean, maybe, and then probably picking our hero after that. We'll see. Okay, so for now, that's a big job. Design proper character stage and faction select. And difficulty as well. Okay, next one is an easy one. So yeah, that's a pin in that. That's going to come later. First I need to design it. So, bomb targeting allied. So yeah, when I picked up the bomb in game. Oh, and also loot goblin. Not looting. When I picked up a bomb. Bomb. Okay, so it's finding. So this is an old thing. Find game objects with tag enemy for each. No, for each character enemy in team series. Because this would apply to all of them. So for each. We'll do the whole thing for each list character in, let's call this team in gm.teams .c.teams. Fit the team list. I feel like that should be like that should be static. It is static. Okay, good. Oh no, it's not static. Fine. For each character in team, if character is on a player team, can I do it like that? No, I have to put it here. If character is not on the player team, then character.take damage 100. Better. Okay, I'm gonna find any more instances of me. Yeah, so okay, so I've already, yeah, this is old code that I got rid of a while ago. Because basically the common spawn timer doesn't actually care about how many units are on the screen. It's only the, because if you're not killing the common enemies, you're going to die quickly. It's not going to matter. Okay, so that was the last instance of this, of using this tag enemy. Okay. Okay, we should see massive performance improvements and bug fixes. So that will now work. Stop fighting own faction as an option. We just discussed that and put a pin in it. Fix descriptions. Descriptions! Yay! Going through each and every upgrade on the green bean side and writing a description. There's a reason I put that off, is because it's really not very fun, not very stimulating. So what I'll probably do is do that off stream. And then I can like put on a podcast or some music or something and do it like that. Loot goblin not looting. Okay. So we need to make it so that the loot goblin is looting. And the way we do that is we give it something, we give it the looter. So I need to check if my looters are looting. So what do I mean by this? Looters and loot goblins and lords have something called an item collector. This is a recent development because before, silly me, before I had it so that each item had an on-trigger enter, meaning every time a character walked into an item, we would check. Excuse me. We would check if that item. We would check if that character is eligible to pick up that item, which was very expensive because, of course, there's hundreds of items. And I changed that to be on the looter side instead. So instead of querying every character that walks through every item, we're just querying every item that walks into the characters who are designated looters. Okay. So if other.tag, yeah, it's very simple. It's very, very simple. If the item that we pick up has a tag called item, then we attract it, and there's nothing more to it than that. Except, hold on, that's gonna work. That means that even if it's on the enemy team, it will pick up the item for the player. So if and so I need to check, is this character on the player team? Except I don't want to do that because that might be expensive, right? Because that might be every time I walk into every time any looter walks into any item, it's going to say, is this character on the player team? So what I'm going to do is when we spawn an enemy, and we'll say like, let's do it here. Switch off item an enemy. So when we spawn, we say if is on player team. I think that's right. Yeah, if is on player team. Is there a better way to do this? Because I don't want to have to do like get child anytime a unit is spawned. Let's do it like when they're instantiated. Is that on start? I think this happens every time we switch the character on. It's like on enable. I don't know. See, I'm not a... Despite having done this for a while, my talent is in getting things done, not getting things done the proper way. So I just need to... and again, I'm not struggling with can I do this? I'm struggling with what is the cheapest way to do this. So when we make a character... we will say... Are you, if, well, should we put it on the, we'll put it on the collector. We'll put it on the collector itself, item collector. Let's put it here. So we'll ask, is the parent, so void start if transform.parent.getComponent character dot is on player team, and if that is not true, then game object dot set active false. That should do it. Okay, I'm going to assume that did it. All right. Loot goblin not looting, so, and then we will take our loot goblin. So he's got one. Lords have them. It's one of my favourite tooltips is for the Lord is and it's for the Lord, and it's the taxed has become the taxer. Okay, so you get a item collector, you get an item collector, you get an item collector, everybody gets an item collector. Who does that look like? Right, okay. No one told me who this reference was. I did mention it. I was doing some like comment bait, but like, who is this? Who is this referencing? A bald character with a cheeky smile, who is who loots things, and is a bit of a rogue, a bit of a thief, and a bit of a naughty character. And it's a reference to, and he looks like this. It's Patches from the Souls games. Never mind. Okay, loot goblin not looting. Shall I test that? Yeah, let's test that. So we'll make a cheat, and we will get the loot goblin. And we just want to see that the loot goblin is indeed picking up items for us. I'm interested to hear what games everyone is playing, especially if you join the stream. I'm interested to know. I've been playing Ninja Gaiden 4 and also Suikoden, and I'm enjoying both of them. Who's played Ball Pit and Mega Bonk? Those were the big games that make me very jealous because they're good. Yep, okay, he's collecting loot for me. Because they're very clever games. They didn't take a long time to make. They were made by solo developers and have absolutely killed it. And if I could have but a fraction of what they achieved, then me and my family would be very happy. Right. Make sure red boxes are correct for... oh god, that's a fiddly one because I don't know how to fix it. So basically, when we level up, when we show when we level up and we see an upgrade, and if that upgrade is one that consumes another upgrade, it will show that in a red box. And for the orcs, it is showing the upgrade for... It is showing the... so if you pick Paladin, which is Priest plus Soldier, when you see the Paladin pick, it will show you the Soldier and the Priest in a red box, which lets you know it's consuming that. That's fine. But when you do it as the orcs, some of the upgrades apply to both orcs and humans, but they have different they have different sources. And it's showing the sources for the human side rather than the orc side. So I need to fix that. And I don't know how. It's hurting my head just to think about it. Okay, let me organize my to-do list a bit. Sort colors on enemy faction choice. I did that. Still I'm pausing on chests sometimes. I'll put a pin in that. No, I'll delete it for now, and if it happens again, I'll look at it. Descriptions. Got a couple ideas for YouTube shorts I want to do. And then we've got these. Change Stormcloud to Thunderstrike. Sort Lightning Blades so that it works a bit better. So those are nitty gritty ones. Right. Okay. So we have something called replacing icon. Okay. So get upgrade. It's like, yeah, it's going to find the first upgrade in the list that matches this upgrade that I'm looking at. And then it's going to get me the prereqs of that, the prerequisites, and then like the ingredients, the previous upgrades that would combine and be consumed to make it. And then make UI pieces based on that. So what I need to do is I just need to make sure that the faction matches. No, because what are we referencing here? Because yeah, we don't want to just find the first upgrade that matches that name. We want to find the first upgrade that matches that name that is also the current faction, which this is not set up to do. Because we are asking for, we are just putting a name in there and say, find me that upgrade. I mean, so a simple solution would be that no, this isn't the same upgrade as the ones the humans are using. It's just it's just going to be a copy, but then it would have to have like a different name because this is always just going to find it based on the name. So this is why I think we have generally the practice of like player-facing names and developer-facing names, where the developer-facing name would be different. So it would say that here is the sword for the orcs, and it would be sword. It would be like sword O, some symbol to explain that it's an orc sword, and then we would look up that name. But if I were to do that, I think all hell would break loose. It would be a lot of stuff would break. So I'm gonna have to like not use get upgrade. For each upgrade. So yeah, I just do this again basically. So I had to go like get upgrades. Do that. For each upgrade. Upgrade in upgrades. Lovely, again, brilliant naming conventions. What's wrong with this? Upgrade U. Do we already have a U as well in upgrades? In gm.c.upgrades. Only I could, like, no one else would ever be able to decipher what the hell is going on here. Only I can make this game from this point. I promise next time I make a game, I'll do it better. I'll make it clearer. But so we are saying for each upgrade in upgrades, if upgrade.name is equal to name, is equal to, where's name goes, is equal to R. So find me this upgrade that has this name. If upgrade.names is equal to R and upgrade.faction names is equal to gm.c.player.faction.names. I could just say, is it equal to the faction? But I feel like that doesn't really always work. So does the name match? So this upgrade equals you. I think that will work. So find the matching upgrade. I think that'll work. It already isn't. Because I just did that. Each prereq. Okay. So for each upgrade in upgrades, so for each string, oh wait, no, I've done this wrong. I've done this wrong, hold on. I've done this completely wrong, but let's just, and okay, no, it's further up. That's the problem. Because what it should be is that we've made no, that's not right. So the here right earlier saying, yeah, I think that'll work. I think I'm just verbal diarrhea. But so yeah, this is, so we found, so for each prereq in the upgrade, make the thing. So we don't need to touch that. What we need to touch is like, I thought that we were already getting upgrades that match the faction. If upgrade.faction, so in upgrades, we say, so I need to find one of these examples of an upgrade that has, yeah, so in this case, dagger provisions consumes warg and boots. So dagger provisions, so we can start testing that. Say upgrade warg, upgrade boots, and then it should be, then we should get that coming up. And then we are looking in nice stretch of the brain. So this is why I'm not going to get Alzheimer's, because it's just gone 10 and I'm already like breaking my brain. I mean, maybe it shouldn't be this complicated, but it is to me. We get our warg and our boots. Oh wait, it should be Warg 4, just so we can see it. So Warg. So it's asking for dagger there. Shouldn't be asking for dagger. And what, wait, hold on. Why is this showing? Okay, yeah, it's got a combo with, yeah, that's normal. So even though it's given us that option based on me having the Warg and the boots, it's showing. Oh, oh. Lost connection for a second there. What's going on? I think I lost connection for a second there. Hope everything's alright. Okay. Where was I? So where are we getting this upgrade? Ha! Current option. So here is where we're saying, okay, yeah, we've made our current options, and that will have been based on that would have been based on so like somewhere we're sort of saying, okay, we've got our upgrades, but now like, okay, get upgrade. So I think here might be the culprit. I'm like, oh, like this was coded ages ago. I did it with the help of some LLMs, so I'm like, ugh, I don't know what's going on here. I mean, I do, but it's just... So we get a list of available upgrades, and that is the code that does all of the funky stuff of excluding ones and weighting them based on like rarities and all of that stuff, excluding talents and yeah. So then we get a list of upgrades, and those upgrades in here are going to be filtered for faction. And this is a list of strings. So this is going to be really messy, but so get upgrade does that. This feels expensive, but we're already doing it. So for each upgrade in gm.c.upgrades. If upgrade.name is equal to name and upgrade.faction name is equal to this, current options add upgrade, current options add that, yeah. No, because this is a string. Oh my goodness me. Okay. So we have a list of names of upgrades that has been correctly filtered. This is the list of upgrades we should have access to, but it comes in the form of a string. Why a string and not... So I think we might... So, like, yeah, I think I fixed it. This will work, but I just think it will be... List... Upgrade. No, it's just because get weighted upgrades gives us strings. And I do not want to mess with that juju. So... So then we say for each upgrade in upgrades, if that name is equal to this one that I've got and the faction is equal to the faction that I'm using, then current options dot add that one. Dios mio. Let's test it. I think that's going to work. It should be tidier. It is the very definition of spaghetti code, but it's not like it's a it's not like it's a choke point in terms of, like, it's not going to mess with performance at all. And obviously it doesn't affect gameplay at all. So I will accept the spaghetti. Also, can I make like a coroutine? Like it seems like the characters are still looking for targets even though we're in the upgrade screen. You know what? I'm going to let that slide for now. So Okay, so for start, that's something. Because that sort of tells me that what I did is effectively doing what I wanted it to do. Okay, that's a bug. That is correct. Okay. Okay, progress. Okay, we fixed that. Now, let's fix the sprites. So what happens is when we so we make the talents, and then when we get to green beans, instead of me like making the talents again, maybe I should just make the talents again, but we say copy talents. Okay, so that was just a simple one. And everything's the same, except the faction is different. So we have 10 bits plus faction. 10 plus faction, that's correct. Okay, that'll do it. Let's double check that. This is all the funky stuff about game dev that, like, I don't know, if I was like a leak coder, this would probably all just be second nature to me. But it's not. Okay, so we get this, and then we just spam until we see it. And yeah, the sprites are working. Good, good, good. So now the only issue is, for some reason, so chain. And basically we're having like a similar issue with the, what was it called? What was it? The replacing. Oh, why am I the enemy spawner? No. Replacing icon prefab. Combination icon prefab. So it seemed to be showing God. So yeah, this is showing it does a combination exist, and it sort of works both ways. Like, if so, we get the clean upgrade name so that we don't have to do it again for each tier of the upgrade, right? It works for 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get the clean upgrade name. So Soldier 3 becomes Soldier, right? That's what clean upgrade name does. And then for each upgrade in the list, we say, in all of the upgrades, we say, if the upgrade is a combination upgrade, as in, is it one that's made of 2 pieces, then again, give me the clean name for each of those upgrades. So get me for the things that are required to make it. So in the case of Paladin, this would be Soldier and Priest. And then we do this twice because we do it in reverse. So we are looking at an upgrade. So clean upgrade name. So we've seen Soldier. And so we're checking, okay, find me all of the upgrades that have a combination, and is either part 1 or 2 the same as this. If so, then we are looking at an upgrade that can potentially make a combo. And we say, is Soldier either the first or second part of this upgrade, of this combo? I don't know why we're cleaning it up again. Okay, yeah, so then we say, so we have identified that Soldier is part of Paladin. There's a prerequisite Paladin. So then we say, okay, so for each my upgrade. So for each upgrade in the upgrades that I have, do I have the other part of it? So if I've got a Soldier, we check, do I have a Paladin? Do I have a Priest? If I've got a Priest, we check, do I have a Soldier? Okay, so I have I am looking at the Soldier, and it turns out that I do have a Priest. So make me a combination prefab that shows the Priest plus this. And you know what I'm going to do, because I think this confused people. Combo. I'll add that to translate. Combo. Level up UI. People just found it weird looking, and I think it's. Well, I just want to say combo. Look at the picture. Okay. So I have to ask, why, when I look at chain, why when I look at range, am I getting... So yeah, chain is range and AoE. So if I have AoE, why does it show that combo twice? It seems that it's already checking that the faction is the same. But should we just do that again? It's going to add even more strings of spaghetti to this code, but we are only concerned with upgrades that are of the same faction. So if my upgrade dot faction dot name is equal to I'm only concerned with that. Let's see if that fixed it. Otherwise, I think it is a problem to do with specifically chain. Like maybe that's in there twice somehow or something. Ah, that'll be it. That's it. That's it. Storm should be attack speed plus shaman. So I just forgot to change this. So the answer was much simpler than I thought, but hey, it's never a bad thing to understand my code better, I guess. Okay. So many of these kinds of errors can be mitigated, sorted by just having best coding practices. So what you're seeing now, like I feel clever for having fixed it, but these are problems that shouldn't have occurred in the first place. Like, so if I had like a senior programmer or, you know, some kind of mentor or something, they would have helped me avoid these issues. But you know what? It's either like I've skipped years of being a junior coder, so I guess the time is made. This is me being a junior coder. All right, I'm confident that'll work now. It was just that one, and I guess we don't really need to. Where were we? We don't really need to check the faction now, do we? So let's undo that. Just, it's not going to make a difference to the code. It's not going to make a difference to the optimization, to the performance. It's not going to make a difference to the gameplay, but let's just tidy it up. There we go. All right. Sorted. Sorted. Okay. All right then. So the next thing on my list. So we have this big one, which is the completely redesign the character select, faction select, stage select stuff, so that it's all a bit nicer looking. That shows the intent, that it's like less clicky and kind of shows what the game is capable of in terms of being able to have... Because in Vampire Survivors, you pick a stage and the stage determines what enemies are there. In Brotato, you don't even pick a stage. In Deep Rock Galactic, again, you pick a stage and the enemies there will determine the stage. But because we have 4 factions that are playable and also enemy factions, it's a bit more complicated than that. And I think why not allow... I mean, we could say, for example, well, the plains, that's orc territory, so you're going to always be fighting orcs when you're there. No, I want to be able to mix and match it however we please, especially for like story modes and stuff like that. So yeah, I need to go the extra mile there and make a nice screen for that. That's not happening today. Simply, well, maybe later. We've got a few things to sort out. So make combo for time and space magic. That's on the list. This is like tier 3 combos. And this is definitely not happening for a while. I don't think it's necessary. The game doesn't really need it. It would be fun. It would change up the balancing a fair bit. But that means kind of going through all of these combos, right? So if we mix time magic and space magic, we get black holes. And then I would want to go through each of these and make double combos, right? So if I combine Reign of Chicken and, I don't know, Blacksmith, like it would be Reign of Anvils, that kind of thing. Rain of Bombs, that'd be cool. And it's kind of, it would just be a kind of I win button. But I think that's a lot of work and is also dependent, like, so I'm thinking which are the dependencies, right? I want to do whichever has the most dependencies is the one that I would want to do first, right? And the question is, does having 4 factions, is that something I should do after making the double combos or before? And right now my instinct is that it doesn't make much of a difference, because I could get the whole gameplay balanced around not having any of these tier 2 upgrades, tier 3 upgrades, let's call them, tier 3 combos, or tier 3 upgrades, let's call them, double combos. I could probably make the whole game without those existing and then add them. Or would it make more sense to make all the characters, make all the, so like do our tier 3 upgrades for humans and then do it again for each faction? Is it integral to the gameplay? No, I don't think so. I think the gameplay does just fine without them, and it would be fun actually to let that come later, maybe as a post-release update or something. So you see how, when I mean, like, it's, yeah, there might be a correct answer here, but it's not going to be clear right now which one that is. So I'm going to put that on the later list. It's a separate list called later, which is not to be looked at. That goes down near translations. Things that I'm going to translate later once I've racked up a few more things. Okay. So what I've got here is, yeah, design that faction and stage select. I've got to do these descriptions for all of the green bean upgrades. So let's go green bean. I think that should be. And we're going to go through each and every one of these. A heavy axe for chopping enemies. Yeah, like high, I'm going to be more like mechanical. High range, AoE, damage, and crit. Slow. But slow. And again, in each case, I will need to translate these. So translate has, yeah, green bean descriptions, upgrade descriptions. And so I need to go through each and every one of these and describe it. Oh, it's going to be fun. Because these are just, these are actually LLM, these are AI generated, just because I wanted to populate the list. And then I can go in and like sort out all the stats and everything. The stats of the weapons are handled in weapons. So that the upgrade references that weapon. And so here in the upgrades, we're determining just kind of basically cosmetic stuff. Not cosmetic, but you know, this makes it available as an upgrade. There are some weapons which are not upgraded. No, that's not true. But anyway, I'm rambling. So yeah, I need to go through and do each of these. I'm going to do this off stream. So please tell me now, leave a comment or something, or come join the Discord and tell me if you want to see me do these. But I think you're probably better off. I'm probably better off sparing you from me doing all of these. I just need to go through all of them and write a description. So yeah, do let me know if you would like to see that. But otherwise, I'm going to do that off stream. The other things I have to do are Lightning Blade. Need to do so Lightning Blade will be a melee weapon that has that lightning chain effect. And then I wanted to change Stormcloud to Thunderstrike. So these are kind of nitty-gritty ones. I'll probably do those after lunch. So I'm going to fix these descriptions, have lunch, and then I'll come back at 1 o'clock and do these Lightning Blade and Stormclouds. And then I'll also be testing out the Green Bean faction, playing against some enemies, and yeah, just testing it out, having fun with it, and kind of modifying what needs modifying, doing a bit of balancing. There's quite a lot. Like, I think I will make the priests and the shield bearers like tough enemies that are level 2 that drop better loot. So yeah, okay, so that's the end of this stream for now. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for joining me. You know the drill. Like and subscribe, and mainly wishlist and try the demo of Warbeans if that is your wish. Thank you very much. Bye.